have an exciting package to open today from Japan. It's my package from Nyokyo that has over 30 individual orders that I made from Mercari Japan, Booth, Melon Books, Animate, Toranoana, Amazon Japan, and probably a few others, but then I just consolidated all of them at Nyokyo so that I would only have to pay one international shipping charge. I'm really excited about a couple art books and doujinshi that I got with this order. And a few of the items I've been waiting for a long time to get them because I did use the full 45 days of storage at the warehouse and I just kept shopping and shopping and shopping. But I'm gonna go ahead and get it cut open. And this is how it's packed, everything together in a bubble wrap layer. So, I don't know, this box is kind of deep, so I don't think I can pull all of this out in an aesthetic way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it out and get all the individual orders unwrapped because usually everything is wrapped individually and labeled separately. So I'm gonna just get everything unwrapped and then I'll go through everything. All right, I'm back. I've got everything unwrapped and kind of sorted by series. First up is a couple Love of Kill items. So first, just this little bonus paper that was included with one of the volumes. I found a listing secondhand for it and I picked it up because I didn't have it yet. And I am a completionist when it comes to Love of Kill extras and goods just to make sure I have everything. And then a second Love of Kill item is this acrylic plate. And this is an illustration that is in the art book. It's also in one of the manga volumes as a chapter header spread, but then in black and white. So then in the art book, it's in color. And then I got the acrylic plate with a stand, a foot stand. These kind of make me nervous how they're packaged because it's like acrylic plastic and then just two pieces of metal just like up against it. So I only have a couple acrylic plates and each time that I've opened them I'm just like, I hope they're okay. But I love how simple these are to set up. You just put the little post through the bottom and then screw the little cap on it. And then it stands. Ah. So I have 3 of these now for Love of Kill and I'm gonna check and see that I have room on my shelves for adding this one. Next, I have an art book for the series Life Lessons with Uramichi Oniisan. This just released. I pre-ordered it. I was so excited when I saw the announcement about it because so far with this series, they've released a small booklet that had color illustrations, and this one is a thick one, but I did flip through it a little bit when I took it out of the plastic wrap, and I was surprised a lot of the illustrations are in black and white. But I'm happy with anything I can get because I really like this mangaka's art style. And I'll just do a quick flip through. Probably not every page, but just to show what kind of art is in it. I don't know, there's still dialogue bubbles, but these aren't like panels. So I'll have to go through and translate them and see what's going on. But I like this. I don't mind that it's in black and white. But the book feels really nice. And the pages are not glossy, but like all of these silver pages have like a shimmer to them. A little bit of color here in the back. Forgot to look under the dust jacket. Happy to have this one now. Next, I have a couple acrylic standees from the series NieR. Specifically NieR Replicant, I believe. But first, this one of Kaine. We got these secondhand, and trying to get it to focus. And I'm glad we found them. These were official releases that we just were really late to finding out about. And then this one of NieR. From the photos, we thought they would be bigger, but I don't mind them being a bit smaller. Sorry, it will not focus. But these are both going to be going in my husband's collection, and I'm glad we were able to pick them up. My husband also got a few doujinshi, but I'm not going to share them. The other item that he got, though, that he said I could share in the haul is this unofficial anthology illustration book, Elysium Xenoblade from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I'm over here flipping through it on the side because I don't think it's 18 plus, but it does have a little bit of fan service in it. So I'll just show a couple pages. A few of the art pages. Ooh, I like this one. Jin and Laura. But yeah, so I'm glad that we finally got a hold of this. My husband's been on the lookout for it for a while now. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is my favorite of the three of them. And this is nice. It's like a fanzine kind of. But then it was organized by someone in Japan who found these different artists to contribute to it. So yeah. Okay, next, a couple paper goods. So from Yona of the Dawn, this bromide print of the dragons. So I do have this illustration in the art book, and one of the upcoming English volume releases is going to have this on the front cover and this on the back cover. But I wanted to just have a bit of art that I would be able to put on display with this illustration. I almost bought the Japanese volume that had this cover so that I could just take the dust jacket off of the volume and have that. But then there was a big barcode on the back. So I'm glad that I found this listing secondhand for this print because I didn't order the Hanato Yume issue that it came with. So Yona of the Dawn, the dragons. And then next, a bromide print from the series Firefly Wedding. I had to get this as soon as I saw it had a little release. It's been kind of hard trying to acquire the Firefly Wedding extras, like the bromides and the extra papers that come with the volume releases, because each different retailer will have an exclusive benefit. So like for volume 3 or volume 4, the volume itself will come with like 5 different benefits, but then you have to buy the volume 5 different times at different stores. So I've just been kind of picking and choosing which ones I want to definitely get my hands on, and this was one of them. I'm so excited for the English release of this coming up in, I think, January 2025 is when Volume 1 comes out. I'm so happy that Viz licensed this series for an English release, and I'm just really looking forward to having it in my collection. But for now, I just have the Japanese volumes and then a handful of bromide prints. Next, I have some Korean manhwa goods that I bought from Japan because it was more affordable to order secondhand from Mercari Japan for these items than it was to get them on US Mercari or to even try to find them from Korea. But it's a set of photo cards. I am trying to collect all of the photo cards for the series Legs That Won't Walk. So this was one that I was missing. Of Taesung and Sooyoung. And then these were a newer release from one of the Leshin events, but from the season's greetings art for them of him being a boxer, him being a soccer player, and then him doing like judo, I think, or karate or something, I'm not sure. But this has been a release of these designs as prints in the calendar, as holographic tickets, and now as photo cards in this kind of red style. They also got photo cards already for this year's season's greetings, but I don't know. Oh, Team Lesson. Yeah, that was the theme for this year's season's greetings, so yeah, glad to have these now. I'm trying to stay organized so that I don't accidentally get any duplicates while I'm trying to hunt these down. But, well, of course I'm going to get duplicates because I did order some additional blind packets that I'm going to hopefully be able to find some of the ones that I'm missing still, but happy to have these ones now. Okay, and then actually, before I get into all of this doujinshi, I have a couple things I wanted to share that are kind of official releases. Well, one of these is an official release, but I wanted to share these ones. They are doujinshi anthologies as well, but I view them as official releases because these are doujinshi anthologies by the mangaka herself, who did What Did You Eat Yesterday, the manga series. So each of these anthologies is 3 of the single doujinshis. So this first one has the first 3 doujinshi. Yeah, they don't have the title pages, but just like this one says 1, and then it says 2, and then 3. So this first one and then the second one has doujinshi number 4, 5, and 6. Oh, this one says I guess they say it on the back. So, okay, this first one had 1, 2, and 3, and then it has the release date of the doujinshi since I started releasing these for the winter comiket. So, as you can see, it was annually in December that they were released. And then I guess her schedule changed, because then this is the next schedule of releases for 4, 5, and 6. And then she does have 7 through 9 done already and released as singles, so I'm just waiting for that 3rd anthology to be released so I can pick it up. Because I haven't read those 3 yet. I have read all 6 of these already before ordering these physicals. I just almost flipped through, whoops. So they are 18 plus, but I think they're a really lovely addition to the non-explicit seinen manga series, where it's just slice of life, a lot of cooking content, not a lot about romance, but just the daily lives of these 2 men. Whereas these 2 anthologies, which are by the mangaka herself, have canon material about the relationship along the way. Each doujinshi is meant to be part of the series at certain intervals between chapters, where it kind of shows behind the scene what's going on with their relationship and just really focuses on their emotional connection. So I'm so happy that I recently found out about these, was able to read the first 6 of them, and have these 2 physicals now. And so I'm just waiting on the release of the 3rd one to add it to my collection. And then next, I got a couple things from the series Bungo Stray Dogs. So one is an official release and one is a fan release. So the official release, this is the staff book from seasons 4 and 5 of the anime. And I'm so glad that I found out about this. I found out about this after it had already released, so I ended up paying over market price for it as a result. But I feel like it was so worth it because it basically has little sketches and just art from the staff that worked on the anime. And I really liked seasons 4 and 5. So I really wanted this to have just a bit of extra art of the characters in that section of the story, like Fukuchi and Rampo and Fukuzawa having a bigger role in it than they did earlier in the series. But this is so cool. It's kind of like, it basically is fan art, but by the staff that actually worked on, oh my gosh, that actually worked on the anime. So I'm really glad that I found a listing. Mori. So I do have another series, Attack on Titan. I do have 2 books like this where it has staff art and staff doodles of characters and scenes and stuff from Attack on Titan. So I'm glad that I was able to snag this one. And then this fan doujinshi. This one is all ages. It's not an 18+ fan book, but it focuses on Fukuzawa. I did flip through it already, but it's about Fukuzawa and Fukuchi. And this is an artist that I follow on Twitter. And they have a few others that I missed the release of them, so I'm keeping an eye out for secondhand listings to try to find copies of those as well. But glad to have found these. The next ones are my Jujutsu Kaisen doujinshi of Toji and Gojo. These are both Kinoko fan books. Kinoko is one of my favorite Toji artists. I follow them on Twitter, but I have a few of her other doujinshi, and last time I made my order, this one was out of stock, and then this one was a new release, so I was really glad when this finally was up for pre-order. This one was restocked, so I could just snag both of them. So these are both 18+, so I won't flip through them, but each one has art at the beginning of the book, so I'll just show some of those art pages. And on the back page. So just what a treat that this black and white doujinshi has some color pages of just art at the beginning and end. But looking forward to adding these to my collection. I am excited to check them out soon and have my little Kinoko section on my shelf growing bit by bit. And then the next set of DJs are One Piece doujinshi So 3 from one artist and then 1 from a different artist. I follow both of them on Twitter. So this first one, Cigarette Kiss, I do have a few of their other doujinshi and art books. This one is also an 18 plus ZoSan fan book, and I don't know if you can tell from this illustration on the front, but this artist likes to draw Sanji and Zoro in their 40s and 50s, so they do have a more mature look for them. But this is one that released a few years ago, and I had been keeping an eye out for a release, and I'm glad that I found this listing. And then these next 3 are from the same artist, and I can't flip through these 2 because they're 18 plus, but I think I can flip through the art book. So these are both ZoSan fan books by Dawn, Makina, I do already have a few of her other fan books, and I love their art style for Zoro and Sanji. But this had been a big one that I had been keeping an eye out for. I really wanted it. I had just seen a few of the pages inside, and I actually thought this was like a thick art book, or at least like a big art book, the same size as the doujinshi, but when I got it, I was so surprised to open it and see it was so skinny and small because it was kind of expensive. Fortunately, I found a secondhand listing that was actually pretty affordable compared to a lot of the out-of-stock listings like on Mandarake and Tornana. But I pulled this out of the plastic and I was like, man, this is tiny and it was expensive. I really hope that the art in it is worth it. And I was so happy when I flipped through it. I'm just double checking off screen real quick to make sure that all the art in it is okay. But yeah, it's all good. So a lot of the, well, not a lot, but a few of the art pages in here are the doujinshi covers, but not all of them. I'm just a big fan of this artist though. And how nice just having these bright colored illustrations. So this is the one I just got. And then I have this one as well. I have this top one. So cute. So glad to have found it. So with this order, I'm checking off a couple of my big ZoSan ISOs that I had been looking for. And then next, I have a couple of Haikyu doujinshi. So these 2 are by the same artist, L, and they're kind of lewd. Like, I can't even say the titles because they're kind of a little too lewd. But I like the art. I did flip through them already. I had just seen previews before I ordered them. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna blur this out because it's kind of lewd. But just 2 SakuAtsu doujinshi. I don't know, it's a guilty pleasure. So I'm glad to have added these to my collection. I do collect in full 3 other artists that do SakuAtsu art and doujinshi. So this is a new artist that I started picking up, but this is all that they've released so far. So I'll be keeping an eye out if they have any other future releases. And then this one is an all ages doujinshi that has Omi in a different ship. So it's not with Atsumu, but it's with this guy. I forget what his name is. I'll put it up on the screen, but this is Omi's high school senpai, the captain of his high school volleyball team. I didn't realize that in the fandom that this was actually a pretty popular Omi ship. But after I found this doujinshi and then found out who this was and then looked into the artist, I wanted to get this just because it's really cute. It follows them as little chibi animals, like in a historical setting. It's so cute. But this artist only has 2 other doujinshi and I want to collect them even though they're not this pairing. I'll put the other 2 covers on the screen, but I think that their stories don't like only follow the characters on the cover. I guess the main story is about them, but like Atsumu is in this one. But then there's a different DJ that they did that has, I think, Atsumu and Hinata. So I want to collect all 3 of them so that I can just have the little animal chibi historical story complete in my collection. So excited to look into this and see like what this is even about, really. But even if it's just to like flip through and enjoy the art, I will be satisfied. Yeah, look, Hinata and Atsumu. So cute. Oh, this is the guy. Iizuna Tsukasa. That's him. Okay, and then the last DJ is a thick anthology because there are 9 DJs in here. And it is a Victor and Yuri on Ice anthology. And it is stunning. So I actually own all 9 of these singles. But after I collected all of them, I found out about this anthology and I was just blown away by how gorgeous this anthology release was because this illustration is so pretty. All of the singles have really pretty illustrations as well, but this one being so colorful with the gold foil as well, and then also, I don't know if you can tell, but the embossing on it of the teardrops is such a cool detail. So I don't need to own 2 copies of this story. One reason being because I don't read Japanese, so it's kind of for the aesthetics, but then also when I do read it, I'm not going to flip through this thick book as well as the singles. I would only be looking through one of them. So I'm going to take some time this evening and pull the singles down and go through and kind of see what I think, if I want to let go of my singles, or if now that I've seen and felt and held this one in my hands, if I want to keep the singles and then let go of the anthology. But it's just so nice. I don't know, it's going to be hard to choose. But even though I got some of the singles for this little series when I was in Japan, I've gradually been picking up the ones that I was missing through my orders from Mandarake and Tornoana, and I just actually read it this summer once I got the last one I was missing. I do like the story and I love the art, so glad that I've seen it now in all of its formats. Okay, so that was it for doujinshi, and now I've got one more stack of all BL and official releases. So the first one here is Therapy Game Volume 5. So I ordered this volume in Japanese because it came with a retailer benefit of this acrylic stand. I really love Minato. He's my favorite in this series. And then my next favorite is his brother. But I do like this series quite a lot, and I'm actually going to read this volume 5 probably this week because I want to know. I don't want to have to wait a year for the English release to find out what happens after volume 4. So looking forward to getting into it. And then I have another Japanese volume It's a one-shot, and I just found out about it. I haven't read it. It doesn't have fan translations, so this is another one that I'm going to read right away. And the reason I got it is because it's actually a spin-off of a 3-volume series that I own and really, really like. So we meet these 2 characters in volume 3 of that other series, and then this is their spin-off one-shot. So I'm really looking forward to getting into it. I kind of just bought it on a whim, but I am pretty confident I'm going to enjoy it because I like this mangaka a lot. I've read a few of her series, but I'm happy that I still have some content from that universe that I haven't finished yet. And then I got a copy that came with the bonus paper, retailer benefit, and little booklet. So with an additional little comic on it. So yay! Happy to have this one. And then this next thing that I ordered is actually for several series, but it was a release from a Dear Plus event, so it featured a bunch of series that were serializing in Dear Plus. But all 5 of these are just a 1-page fold out, but each one has 3 series that are featured in it, and then this series has a 1-page bonus comic. Then this one has one here, and then Therapy Game has one here. This is actually the series that this one is a spin-off of. So I really like these guys. Of course, Therapy Game. Some of these series I'm not familiar with at all, but the reason why I wanted to get this was because of Love Nest. I am such a big Love Nest fan, and there is a little bonus comic there. Like these 2, I don't know what they are. And then I'm not sure. I might have read some of these because some of them look familiar. This is Isaku Natsume's other series that just ended. I really like her art style. But just went ahead and snagged this whole set. And then, like I just said, I am a big fan of Love Nest, and the whole rest of this order is goods from the Love Nest universe. So things from the series leading up to Love Nest, so Sayonara Game and Change World, and then the new series to follow Love Nest second, Engage, which is currently serializing. So I'll go through some of the booklets and extras first. So when I went on my Love Nest hunt for extras, I found this booklet. It came with a drama CD, but I had to buy it separately because it was an exclusive release. And so also just being late to the game with these other series, I found listings for these booklets. I love the little chibi designs. But this one from Sayonara Game, and each one just having extra stories in them. And then Change World. So I'm just trying to get all of the extra content that I can for this universe because I don't know how long Engage is going to be, and then it might just all be over once Engage ends, and I'm not ready for that. And then another little Love Nest extra. So I had already found this one in an earlier haul that had a cute furry bonus chapter. And then this one has one as well. Asahi with ears. So yes, had to get this one too when I found out there was another one. And then Engage. I can't believe. So with 3 volumes out, this is how many booklets have been released for Engage. And I don't think any of these are the drama CD booklets. I think these were all retailer benefits for the first 3 volumes. So I pulled these 2 out to show them separately. So this was released with volume 2. This one was released with volume 3. I just saw the little chibi Engage characters with tails and ears, and I was like, I have to get these. But I'm so glad I did because Asahi and Masato are in both of them. So I'm so happy. Then in addition to those, these were the 3 booklet releases for volume 1. And even though these 2 have the same cover, they're from different retailers and have different stories inside. So some of them, like these 2 are kind of thin. This one's really thin. It's only like 4 pages. And these ones are kind of thin, but these 2 are kind of thick. So a couple of these are 12-page stories. So I'm gonna have to go through and read each of them because I haven't seen fan translations of any of them. But I just get really excited with extra content when it's from a universe that I'm a fan of. And then in addition to the little animal one that I already shared, these 2 booklets were also released with volume 2 of Engage as retailer benefits. And then this one has Asahi and Masato in it again. So I'm so happy that they have kind of been main characters in Engage in the main story as well, in addition to the 2 main characters. So what a treat, because I really like those 2 guys. And then this last one for volume 3, in addition to the volume 3 little furry booklet, this was another retailer exclusive. Yeah, so I didn't flip through any of them other than showing Asahi and Masato because they all have 18 plus content in them. So then in addition to these booklets, I got some little extras. So this little photo card of Naru. So this was a Komi Komi retailer exclusive, as well as this. This bromide print was a retailer exclusive. When I was doing all this research, I figured out what the different retailers were called and how to write their names or how to read their names in Japanese. So then I was just looking at the fine print for each one to see which retailer release it was. I was checking that these don't have spicy content. So then a couple of bonus papers that again were released with the manga volumes. And this is just a couple of them. Like I said, when I went on my Love Nest hunt, I found like all the different Love Nest ones. So it is unfortunate for my wallet that I am trying to be a completionist with this universe, because like this is just Engage. All of these booklets. Oh, I guess these ones, these first couple are Change World and Sayonara Game, but these are all Engage. So yeah, that's not all. So in addition to the bonus papers and the booklets, I got a few other things. So I've been getting into drama CDs, BL CDs for this universe. I got the 4 different Love Nest releases, so the 2 for Love Nest and the 2 for Love Nest Second, as well as the Love Nest and Love Nest Second bonus CDs that were released in magazine issues. And when I decided to just go all in and get the whole universe of BLCDs, I picked these ones up, but then there was one CD that I couldn't find, but it was one that was released in a magazine, so I went ahead and just picked up the magazine issue Dear Plus 2017 August release so that I could get the Sayonara Game bonus CD. And it has a Change World cover on it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one after I carefully remove this CD. I might not keep this one because the only magazine issues that I'm collecting are Love Nest ones. But so that Sayonara Game bonus disc, as well as the official BLCD for Sayonara Game, went ahead and picked it up. And then I got the Change World official drama CD, and in my last Love Nest haul, I also got the Change World bonus release that was, again, in a magazine release, so I did get that one as well. And then I got the 2 Engage releases, so the official drama CD I love these little cases that they come in that just keep them protected. So the official Engage drama CD and the bonus one that was released in a magazine. So I assume there's going to be a second one coming out soon now that volume 3 has released of Engage in Japan. So I don't know how much this covers, if this covers into volume 2 or if it covers volumes 1 and 2, and then maybe the second one will cover volumes 3 and 4. But I guess I will just wait and find out. But now I officially have all of the Sayonara Game, Change World, Love Nest Second, and Engage drama CDs. All of the Love Nest magazine issues that have them on the cover. I've got a good bit of booklets. This isn't even all of them. I also have some Love Nest ones that are on my shelf. But I do think I'm probably missing a couple still, so I just am still kind of scouring Mercari Japan for any that I'm missing, and kind of cross-checking too with the bonus papers to make sure that I don't miss any, just because I want to have every bit of the goods from this world and the extra little chapters and little comics. So this is everything. So I'm gonna try to get everything laid out in a pretty way, and then I'll see you over there. Well, I threw everything into a pile. I was trying to lay it all out, but it kind of just is a mess. But here's most of what I hauled this time around. I'm so happy to have everything now. I've been in such anticipation about getting all of this stuff. I think the Uramichi art book and the What Did You Eat Yesterday anthologies were some of my highlights, as well as this art booklet. I wasn't sure what to expect when I saw how small it was, but I'm pretty happy with it. Of course, as well as my Love of Kill acrylic plate, just every little bit of Love of Kill merch I can get just makes me really happy. But thank you if you stuck around to the end. This has been a pretty long haul for me. At the start of this, I was trying really hard to be kind of fast going through everything, but then I just kind of got distracted as I would pull out the next thing, and then I'd want to talk about it and flip through it a little. So even though I didn't flip through the 18 plus stuff and just it's especially toward the end, just a bunch of CDs and like little booklets. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you enjoyed coming along as I went through all of my new goods from Japan. And as much as I'm looking forward to going through and like spending more time looking at each of the booklets and DJs, I'm really excited to get all of them on my shelves and just like get them organized into my collection. So that's what I'll be doing probably for the rest of the evening. But again, thank you so much if you stuck around to the end. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Thanks for watching.